What is up? How's everybody doing? So, I just want to say, checkmate your reality. Thank you for that comment. You said that with $1 trillion market cap, a $100 bonus is so laughable that it should insult any credit card influencer that has any self-respect. So first off, yeah, so Apple does have a $3 trillion market cap, and which is massive, right? I'm sure their Apple Card division is much smaller. They're probably not dedicating that much money. You just think about that. They're getting most of their revenue from everything associated with the iPhone, right? That's their big money maker. And then I think they're branching off into all these services. But listen, it's not lost on me. It is a small intro bonus for sure. But I know there's so many in the general population. There's so many Apple Card users out there, so that's why I wanted to highlight that. But yeah, it is a small bonus because even the lowest entry level, acceptable cards like the Quicksilver card, the Freedom Unlimited, the Freedom Flex, they're gonna come with a $200 bonus standard all the time. And I've always said this. Now, I take that as a sign of respect, and I appreciate the fact that you call me a credit card influencer. Thank you. Right? That's great. I'll wear that badge. But, yeah, it's definitely not a good bonus, so you're right about that. I think you're trying to be funny, though. So, let's get to the news real quick. So, first up, Mercedes-Benz partners with Mastercard for in-car payments. So, car manufacturer Mercedes-Benz has partnered with Mastercard to launch a solution for, paying in car, and meaning customers can fill up their cars and complete payment from behind the wheel. Imagine that. You can pay from behind the wheel. The embedded in car payment solution leverages fingerprint sensor technology and will first be rolled out in Germany at over 3,600 service stations. This partnership marks the first use of fingerprint payment authorization for native in car payments at a point of sale. It also makes Mercedes the first automaker to integrate MasterCard Secure Card on file for commerce platforms technology for in vehicle online payments. So we have that there. I don't see myself making payments in the car, but listen, I'm open to new tech all the time. I'll try it out. Whenever I get a new car, I'll definitely give it a try. So, what's the future of wearable payment devices? So, the global market for wearable payment technology is expected to be worth $137 billion by 2030. So, whether that's using smartwatches, bracelets, jewelry, or even having a chip embedded under your skin, like that's some sci fi stuff right there. Wearable payment devices are not gimmicks. They offer fast, convenient, and secure ways to pay. Most are based on near field communication technologies, enabling smart payments uh, processed automatically via secure links between the device payment terminal and the consumer's bank account and other digital wallet. Smart payments also generate data that a card issuer, bank, or brand could use to inform personalized services. Wearable payment devices can also be used for other purposes, including ticketing, for transport, or even events, access control for building our vehicles, and digital identity verification. So, the major payment solution that I've seen is uh, I was about to say the iWatch, but it's the Apple Watch. So many people already have that, and if you can just pay with your watch, I can see that being really, common and just a fluid transaction. And just think about all the times that you might leave your phone or your wallet behind. I personally don't do that because I'm constantly tapping my pockets, so I don't think that really ever happens to me. But for a lot of people, if you do leave your stuff behind, maybe you still have your watch on your wrist, and you can still, if you go to the grocery store, you don't get to the front of the line, and then you go fully to check out, and you say, "Oh my god, I don't have anything to pay with," but now you have your watch with you. So I can see that catching on a lot. If you pay with your watch, let me know in the comment section. Do you use the Apple Watch or do you use a Samsung wearable to make payments in store? Is that a thing? Next, people are having trouble paying off their credit cards, and these two department stores could be in trouble. The heavy hand of the Federal Reserve may pound the financials of big department stores like Nordstrom and Kohl's this holiday shopping season. Bank of America slashed its profit estimates and price targets for Nordstrom and Kohl's on Tuesday, citing rising financial stress on households amid higher interest rates. Those high rates are driving increased delinquencies and could potentially lead to more charge-offs on department store credit cards soon. So we're just seeing this news wave, wave after wave, week after week. More delinquencies are coming, and it's hitting seemingly every credit card company. But the most that the highest hit card companies are going to be Capital One and then Goldman Sachs with the Apple Card. We've seen time and time again. So we definitely got to keep an eye on that. But these are considered store cards, and a lot of they get a lot of kind of low level. The store cards are really more accepting of lower credit, subprime credit, and so those delinquencies are going to naturally be higher for those people. The next, buy now, pay later users young and well off, but nearing a financial cliff, poll says. And so a financial crisis may be brewing with buy now, pay later users. A new survey shows not only do shoppers who use short term financing tend to borrow and spend a lot, but they're having difficulty keeping up with debt payments. More than 2 out of 5 users carry buy now, pay later debt, and 1/4 of them missed a payment last month. 1/4. So 25% missed a payment last month. That's staggeringly high. That's got to be a little off. That seems too high. Another 1/4 said they paid late fees. 27% saw a decline in their credit score, and 22% interacted with a debt collector. Wow, that seems scary high. But if they have a late payment, I mean, these are constructed to make the payments really easy to make. I mean, they break the payments up for you, and most of them, I believe, force you to sign up for autopay. So it's surprising that this is actually occurring. Next, consumer group says MasterCard is selling cardholders data without their knowledge. So MasterCard keeps detailed records of the spending habits of its credit card holders, which it then sells to third-party companies, often without customers' knowledge. That's according to a report published Thursday by the U.S. Public Interest Research Group, and which says that MasterCard has built a separate division dedicated to the selling of customer transaction data, which has become a huge revenue stream for the global payments technology company. In a statement, MasterCard denied selling customers' data. Listen, I'm going to go ahead and think that they're selling the data. I mean, most of these, I'm already assuming that just about any company, large company, to be exact, is already selling our data. And the thing is, I use a service called Aura. I definitely like being able to see when things are hitting my, when my identity is being verified, or, my credit is being affected in any way. But there's really no way around it. That's so ingrained into the structure of businesses these days, is that they treat you as a product. They're trying to find different, revenue streams to earn money off of every purchase. And in a lot of ways, it helps subsidize the cost of these products and services. They're able to kind of lower the price to and kind of offset by just selling your data and retargeting you for marketing. So I kind of take a more backseat hands off approach. I don't even really worry about it. If it comes down to it, I'm receiving too much mail, or if I'm getting too many emails in the inbox, then I'll start to take some measures after that. But it's just too much to worry about from my perspective. As credit card companies are making it harder to get benefits. So during the pandemic, the number of proprietary Amex cards grew from 54.7 million at the onset of the pandemic to over 79.3 million in Q2 of 2023. Many of these new cardholders were enticed by attractive sign-up bonuses. At one point, the Amex Platinum boasted a 150,000 point membership reward point offer worth at least $1,500. Amex wasn't alone in its ambitions to acquire new customers. All of these new card holders meant more congestion at the airport lounges, that's for sure, when travel inevitably resumed. And as the economy recovered and interest rates began to rise, the outsized acquisition spend at creditors began to taper, and too much of a good thing became a real problem. Throughout 2022 and 2023, card issuers have made a concerted effort to rein in some of those most valuable benefits of their premium cards. So, we've seen, Amex recently make those changes to lounge access, making it harder to get into the lounge. And listen, I even covered this in a recent newsletter. I'm like, uh, and in a video, Amex, those lounges have seemingly become very crowded. And I said, I would not even fathom if I took one of my first or second trips and I tried to go access my premium lounge and then it was like shut down due to, high occupancy. I mean, even if you were one of the last to get into the lounge, it would still be a bad experience because there's so many, like you go to New York, I used to live in New York and you go to an exhibit or an event. And I mean, on its face in in the flyer it looks nice, but when you get inside you're back to back, you're hip to hip. It's too many people to have a good time. So uh yeah, they're trying to make it harder to get into these lounges and stuff. Next, credit card data shows U.S. consumers spent less in September, a sign of a slowdown. So, cracks in the resilient consumer narrative are starting to appear. So Bank of America says new data from the Bank of America shows spending on the bank's cards decreased 0.3% in the week ending September 23rd compared to the same period last year. In fact, spending on Bank of America cards has been trending lower for several weeks now, and even lower when excluding auto and gas purchases. But many economists have said consumers have started to hold back. Thus, a slowdown is on the horizon. Other data out Thursday showed that might already be happening more than initially thought. Personal consumption growth in the second quarter, for example, was revised down zero point 0.8 to 1.7%. So it's a slowdown. I'm guessing that the you know uh, purchases and transactions should be trending up because we're heading into the holiday season, and they're not seeing that. All right. And Wells Fargo has a new virtual assistant in the works named Fargo. All right. Let me know if you like the name of that assistant, just Fargo. I feel like I could have chose something a little better than that. I know it goes with the name. Wells Fargo is developing a virtual assistant to help it convert more retail banking customers into digital users. The assistant named Fargo will be able to execute tasks including paying bills, sending money, and offering transaction details and budgeting advice. It's expected to be out next year after the bank releases a revamped mobile app and website in early 2022. Okay, that must be a typo. The move by Wells Fargo is part of a broader technology overhaul under CEO Charles Scharf, updating the bank's um, updating the bank's aging system has been a priority for Scharf since becoming chief executive 2 years ago, as well as a key part of the turnaround needed after the bank's 2016 fake account scandal. We all remember that. Last month, Wells Fargo announced a decade-long plan to move computing to Google and Microsoft cloud servers. So, listen, the virtual assistant trend. I'm hoping that this is like the back end of this is using like ChatGPT or Google Bard or some other like high level solution for with AI, because in previous years I've been loud about this. These AI assistants are not that assistive. Like they're just glorified search engines. They just do a good job of searching the FAQ pages of the frequently asked questions of any given website. It's not enough. And they'll give you like I've never had a problem solved by a chatbot, one of these like legacy chatbots. If you had a good experience with one of these chatbots, let me know. Do you think I'm wrong? Because I just haven't. They have not done the job. I've always had to go to a human. Just get me to a human as quickly as possible. That's been my motto. Next, Citi pulls the plug on Stratacar. So this is just a rumor. So we're in the rumor mill now. Okay, so just be aware of that. But Citi was supposed to launch one or more cars called the Strata, in that family of cars, and they're supposed to be like a premium, high ticket, high tier, family of cars that was going to be a competitor to the likes of the Capital One Venture X card, to the Chase Sapphire Reserve card, and the Amex Platinum card. You know? And so it was supposed to be in that same ilk, in that same stratosphere. So Citi rumored Citi credit cards, which were anticipated to launch, have reportedly been put on indefinite hold, according to an unconfirmed report. While details about these cards included a generous bonus category. What is that bonus category? I mean, I'm assuming it's travel. It has okay, it has to have, like, a really good travel component, but maybe it was something like the Amex Gold or the Rose Gold if you're CJ, alright? I see you there, and, maybe it had 4 or 5%, points, rewards on dining or grocery. That would've been amazing. So, while the details about these cards include a generous bonus category and expected release date in 2024, doubts about Citi's commitment to the premium card market has persisted. The recent reorganization at Citi has raised questions about their product launch plans. While this information is based on a reliable source, it remains a rumor, and there is still a possibility that the Strata cards may be launched in the future. So, I saw the initial reports. It was supposed to come out this past summer. Well, guess what? The summer's over. Right? We're past Labor Day. We're into October now. It's October 2nd. So where are the Strata cards? And so I've seen a few people question and they they assumed and they kind of they assumed that these cars did not launch because the economy, the downturn of the economy, and the high delinquency rates. They were just too high to launch a new car that they wanted to get a lot of value, to get a lot of return on in this climate. So maybe they're holding off for better times. Maybe customers to be in a better financial space that it's less of a risk for them to mitigate. Banks are all in the business of basically mitigating and controlling risk. So maybe it's too risky of an environment to launch these new cards in. So that's what a lot of people are thinking these days. And guys, and this was actually surprising to me, and you can tell me what you think about this. Experience Smart Money digital checking account. That's a new kind of a fintech component, fintech style checking account that uh, Experian. Yeah, the Experian Credit Bureau. The credit agency itself is launching its own checking account. So we're seeing a lot of these small startups and even newer companies like you have the Capital One 360 account. They have these kind of fintech-esque tacked on accounts. And so you're going to get a $50 bonus when you use direct deposit. I believe the threshold is $1,000 in deposits in like 30 or 60 days. And then the good thing about is that with this is that you use the debit card and they actually will track those that spending, and they'll basically look at specific transactions that will qualify, and they'll determine but you can actually pay rent, which is nice. You can pay for, utility bills, and they will actually take that and report that to themselves, right? It's experience. So they'll take that as a credit building activity. It's issued by Community Federal Savings Bank as well. And so I saw some people a little bit leery and kind of like wary about the fact that this is a credit agency launching a consumer facing, digital financial product. It's a little weird. I'm not sure exactly why, but like it seems like it's a little conflicting of interest. Now, the bad thing is that it's only going to report to Experian because if you don't know, Experian has a boost feature which allows you to kind of do something similar. It will report your some of your payments that you sign up for to itself to Experian. The good thing is that most banks and lenders are going to be using Experian to judge your credit worthiness, but the problem is that some credit unions, some banks, some fintechs are using TransUnion. Some of them might use Equifax when they're trying to, get you approved. Some, if you're Capital One, you use all three. So if you're not positively affecting all three credit bureaus, I think you're missing the mark. I think they need to do more than that to make it, worth your while. Now, I saw this post. I thought it was really interesting on Reddit. It says airlines are just banks now. Now, you might not know about this, but airlines make a really significant amount. Some would say they make most of their money off of their credit card programs or their co-branded credit cards that they offer you, not on the actual flights themselves. Yeah, they're more like financial companies at this point. So airlines have shifted from traditional frequent flyer programs to loyalty programs centered on spending. This reflects an industry transformation where airlines resemble financial institutions. They create points from thin air. So just out of thin air, they create their point system, sell them to banks with co-branded credit cards, and make money from the card usage. While lucrative for airlines and cardholders, it raises prices for non-participants. So this is standard, right? I mean, credit cards, the infrastructure of credit cards itself does raise the price of goods and services. It's a fact. Limited competition allows airlines to make these changes without fear of losing customers. This shift results from airline deregulation, which failed to deliver promised benefits, leading to consolidation, reduced service, and other issues. Regulation may be needed to improve air travel experiences. And I felt like this is really good to know. And I'll actually cover this more in depth in another video. And it says, can you request a 0% APR period for a card you already have? And it turns out, and this is from a few data points, and I'm sure there's going to be many more, that you can actually do this with Discover. Was the primary one, is well known in the, on the ground. If you're in the community, Discover is well known for having good customer service. You call into the retention department and they will offer you a myriad of choices, but one of them being a 0% APR period. And one person even said they were able to do this with their Chase card. So before they actually moved or they had a big purchase coming up, they were able to negotiate with Chase, and then basically out of thin air, maybe they had the card for a year or two, or however long they had the card, they were able to just negotiate and get a 0% intro uh, APR on their existing card. That's great because that's a big selling point for some people, especially if you're on the business side. I definitely would use this tactic, use this strategy to call into customer service. You know, you never know what you might get. I always say, ask for the moon, you just might receive it. Next, if you have the Fidelity card, a lot of people regard the Fidelity Visa card as a really good option for a 2% cashback card, but you get the cashback in the form of, it gets directly deposited into a Fidelity brokerage account. But this Fidelity Visa card removes the foreign transaction fee. And so this is the fee that will get that you will, whenever you make a transaction into when you travel abroad in an overseas country, there's usually going to be a 3% fee tacked on to every transaction. Now they're removing that. So that's really nice to see. Still, most cards are going to be charging that fee. So it's really good to see one card at least moving over to the good side and not charging that fee. Now, this is what you all came for. The Apple Card is now offering a $100 sign up bonus, and it seems to be it's not targeted. So if you visit the direct link, there's one link that you can use, and you can act if you want to sign up for the Apple Card, and it will give you access to a $100, basically a cash back bonus. And I believe you have to make a one or two. It's really easy to hit, like one purchase or so of like $10. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I have a direct link to this in my brand new product I released for free, which is and we'll go to it. We'll go back to this. It is a master list. So it's a master bank and credit card list that I put together. It's got 48 credit cards and banks to choose from. It will not impact your score. Nine or 10, I believe 10 at this point, show your credit limit before approval. So 10 of these credit card options will show your credit limit before approval. But every card on this list will do a soft credit pull or no credit check at all. And so I have a link to this list in the pinned comment on this stream, and it's in the description of this video. Definitely check that out. It's a nice spreadsheet that displays everything from credit builders to credit unions to banks, and there's one other I'm missing. Fintechs has fintech, so it's got at least about 10 of each, but mostly it's going to be some store cards in there. But it's 48 in total. It even has a link to the secret Chase credit card that you see here on this screen, on this slide. Chase also has their own landing page to get pre approved for cards. And I give you access to that too. Now, one thing you should know about these, and I'm going to keep this one updated, is that a lot of these credit card companies will use specific links, and sometimes they'll keep the link the same, but they'll turn them on and off. And so it makes it a little bit tough to kind of navigate this situation. But uh, for a good period of time, for maybe months, Chase had this inactive. So if you went to this link, it was inactive, but they recently turned it back on. Now the city pre-approval link is now inactive, but I assume at some point, maybe this year, they're going to reactivate it. So definitely keep tuned to that. You also get access to my weekly credit card Credit Connect newsletter, which is cool. Give you a lot of insights there. But let's go back to Apple Card. Let's talk about the Apple Card. So the Apple Card is, my big gripe with the Apple Card is that they don't offer this sign up bonus consistently. They should just add this $100 sign up bonus to every sign up. They keep like testing and targeting and kind of going back on and switching out their offer, and then they'll do these like targeted offers where they'll email you and say, hey, you're eligible to sign up for the Apple Card for $10, something low like that. They need to just make it consistent, and I'm sure they would get more signups and probably a better quality sign up for the Apple Card as well, because it's just standard for a credit card offer, $200 at least for a sign up. Now you could probably say that, they can get away giving you less because they're admitting more people, because even when it launched, they said that someone with a FICO score as low as 600 could get in the door. So maybe that's their reasoning for not giving you, a dedicated sign-up bonus. But what they could do, I just thought about this, is that they could take the approach that Capital One does, and they have the Quicksilver card for fair credit, good credit, and excellent credit. And so they start to phase in those rewards. So you might have fair credit and you'll get approved for a Quicksilver card with no sign-up bonus. Maybe you have good credit and you're going to get a 0% interest period, and then maybe you have excellent and they'll give you a 0% interest and $200 of a sign-up bonus. So I think that maybe they could go for something like, approach like that might help. But yeah, definitely check out the pin comment for that link to the. Everybody's been really loving that. I should have some testimonials. I do have some on the landing page, but people have been. I had one person that went to my master bank and credit card list, and they were able to get pre-approved for a Capital One Ventrex card. I know everybody's been complaining about how hard it is to get approved for the Ventrex. I've seen reports of people with 800 scores, 780s, you name it. And for some reason, Capital One has been denying people that, they thought they had a really good profile and they had low inquiries, and they were just thrown for a loop. Why was I denied? So it's good to get that kind of that pre-approval out the way, because guess what? You're going to have basically a 90% odds at that point of actually getting fully approved, because the credit card issuer themselves gave you that pre-approval. And like I said in my recent video, I've never been pre-approved for a card and then not been fully approved. It's never happened. Now I've 10 years of, applying for credit cards. So I see some comments here. You said, let me see the best one here. Did anybody get approved for any new credit cards? Did you try out the master credit card list? What do you think? And just give me your thoughts real quick. Danny, I see you. What's up? Matt Clausen, how you doing? You said the Apple bucket. Yeah. Christoph, it's good to see you, man. Thanks for joining me, by the way, on a Monday evening. It's I've never done a live stream on Mondays. So Cars and Mocha said Capital One got me stuck at a $2,000 limit and they won't give me a credit limit increase. Listen, that's so many people's story. I've heard that so many times. I'm sorry that that's happened to you. 2000 actually, some people get stuck at like 500 or 1,000. So you're a little bit in a better situation than them. But yeah, definitely take a look. I have a link in the description to kind of my cheat sheet. I have 12 different strategies that I would deploy in a situation like that. Now, nothing's going to be guaranteed. I have to give you that disclaimer, but the only guaranteed method to get out of a bucket is to actually sign up for a brand new Capital One card once your credit profile is in a better state. That's like the foolproof way of getting into a better bucket. And then yeah, you could also cancel. And I actually covered this in a recent newsletter. That's why you got to get on a newsletter list, guys. You actually can cancel in most situations your oldest credit card. That's been a big misconception. It really depends on your credit profile. If you already have years in the game and you have more than a few, maybe you have 5 different credit cards, or at least I would say at least 4 to 5 different credit cards, then canceling your oldest one is going to be just fine, because the only aspect of your credit profile that's immediately affected by canceling a card is your credit utilization. So if you don't have a decent amount of available credit, then canceling is going to hit you a little bit. But if you already have 30, 40, 50,000 in available credit, canceling a $1,000 credit limit card is not going to affect you in the slightest. And all that good payment history, all that good history attached to that oldest card is going to stay on your credit report for 10 years when you cancel in good standing. So a lot of people don't understand that aspect. It's kind of you have to dig deep to figure this stuff out. Johnny Jimenez, what's up? Johnny says, I like that Chase will tell you you're already approved for credit cards and car loan with the credit limits included. Okay. I didn't know the car loans were in there as well. Yeah, that is cool. Chase is really, like I said before, Chase is really getting better about kind of becoming more friendly, especially to, users. Like I've been with Chase with my Chase Freedom Unlimited card for about like 5, 6 years now. Now I've never gotten an increase on that credit card, but I've never used it a ton either. I did qualify for the sign up bonus, but I like that. In the past, they would Chase would really penalize you and punish you for trying to increase your credit limit, and they would hard pull you. Now you don't really have to worry about that. You can just request, and it'll just be a soft pull, and they will show you your limit. They'll basically pre-approve you, and then if you go to the Just for You tab or section in your account, they'll show you what you're approved for, which is nice. So I agree with that. Yeah, so just to circle back to Cars and Mocha, he said, I can't afford to cancel the Capital One credit card. It's my highest limit, and I just recently closed my $10,000 secured loan due to debt to income ratio. Okay. So yeah, keep it open as long as it's, hopefully it's one of the no annual fee cards. If it's not, I would definitely go to, again, click the pin comment in my in this video, because I have a link to the Capital One uh product change. So you can upgrade if you have a Quicksilver card with a $39 annual fee, you can try to upgrade your credit card. That's actually one of the strategies that I would deploy as well, because a lot of these issuers like to see usage. That they like to see high usage, and they like to see you interacting and using their products. And so a product change is just another metric that they're going to look at to determine how engaged are you. They want you engaged in keeping your credit card top of wallet. And when I used the product change from my Quicksilver card to my Venture X card, I noticed I was able to to increase my credit limit within 30 days of doing that. And I was surprised, and it was a good test to run. Yo, shout out to Chevy. I just went back in the comments. It says, I use my Samsung watch to pay. Shout out to team. I'm still on team Samsung, by the way. I might actually, I said before that I was gonna get the iPhone, but I might just uh decline the purchase because I haven't gotten it yet. So shout out to team Samsung. So Joaquin Meza, let's read this question out. So he says, which card do you think is best for cash back on groceries and gas? I also buy big purchases on construction materials and want to benefit from cash back. Interesting. So there's a lot here. Let's unpack this real quick. So this is fun. That's a really good question. So gas and groceries. If you have Verizon, I would definitely look into the Verizon Visa card. I actually want to use that more because I've gotten a lot of value from it. It gives you 4% cash back unlimited on gas and grocery, and then I think it's 3% back on dining and 2% back on a few other categories. But it's nice that it's unlimited. The only caveat is that you can only use it to for redemption or statement credits for your Verizon account. So if you don't have Verizon, then I would definitely look into maybe the Wells Fargo autograph card. I believe that does give you 3% unlimited in gas and groceries. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. If you want to take a more maybe a two card approach, you could do a city custom cash in one of those categories, and then you could choose gas or groceries for the city custom cash card, and then there's a few cards that could get you gas. I'll have to think about that. Now, as far as the construction materials, I would now that sounds like a business right there. So if you let me know, are you in business right now buying that construction material? Thanks, Matt Clausen. You said it's the autograph card is gas and dining. Thanks for that correction. Joaquin, is that construction material? Is that for a business? Okay, so yeah, I think you need to be putting that spin on a business card. One card that I just I started signing up for, and I will be testing out for myself. I already started the application for is the Flex One card. I believe I have a link in the description somewhere. If I don't, I'll have to link it up. But it's the Flex One card. It gives you 60 days of 0% interest. So you basically gives you a 60-day grace period to um to make the purchases without incurring any interest, which is really nice. It's a really nice perk. And they have a bank account as well that you can use. But they started out really focusing hard on construction. So I would try that card. A corporate card also is the Divvy card is good. You could try that just to get those purchases off of your personal credit because you don't want any of your business purchases to commingle and with your personal side. And then for tax reasons, you want to keep those taxes those purchases separate, so it's easy to do your taxes, and um, you want to be able to not let any of your purchases affect your utilization rate. And then also, yeah, Matt mentioned the Chase cards, Chase Inc. They give you 0% interest sign up bonus. There's a huge sign up bonus for the Chase Inc. cards right now. You're going to get $900 cash back, which is amazing. So, all that you can check out. So yeah, if you're I would definitely try to chase cards, and then also Amex. The Amex I personally use the Amex Blue business cash card. I personally use that one. I really want the Chase Inc. Unlimited card myself, but definitely don't want to use a personal card for that. Let me make sure I have that in the description real quick. Okay, I don't. I need to put that in there ASAP. Forgot to put that in. So I'll definitely be updating that soon. But did anybody get approved for a credit limit increase or a brand new credit card? I want to shout you out, and we can talk about it. Yeah, so the Chase Ink Premiere, yeah, that's a he said, thanks for the recommendations. We'll definitely be looking into the Chase Ink Premiere. Yeah, listen, Chase is great. And I think they Chase is really good because they offer that 0% interest period. So for a lot of people that's starting a business, maybe you don't have income yet, but you obviously have income. So they're great because they don't report to your personal side, and they give you 12 months of zero interest. So now you don't necessarily have to pay it off immediately, which is cool. You have extra cash flow. And then they give you a huge sign-up bonus. I mean, they give some of the best sign-up bonuses in the game, some of the best. And then Chevy says, "I got the Capital One Saver One card, $5,000 limit." Listen, Chevy, great job. That's really good to hear. And a lot of people, that's a coveted card. And I've even been on camera. I've discussed it. The Saver One card is kind of treated like a different product from Capital One, and for me, I've noticed that it doesn't even pop up the product change into. So really good that you got approved. Congrats on that. Matt Clausen, what's up, Matt? You said newest card is the Ink Unlimited, only $3,000 and only a $750 bonus for now. So do you think you'll be able to? Well, congrats on the getting the card because Chase is a stickler for inquiries, right? But did you get approved for that in the last 30 days? Because you might be able to call customer service and get the $900. Maybe you'll be able to get the difference and get the new bonus offer that they're just handing out. So Matt Clausen said that they've told me that they will match once I hit the spin. Nice. Got approved on 9/9. I've been asking. Okay, so Matt, I know you're going to be on it. That's good to hear. I hope that they follow through with that. That's really good. Stay on them. Stay on their tails. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining me on this Monday evening. And I'll see you back on Sunday at 7 p.m. like normal. And everybody have a great week. Okay.